James Harden gives the flexibility to Daryl Morey to build a championship team around him by not opting back in. That's the general sense of that maneuver. Yes, Sam?
Yes. Not a shocker. When James, even when the Nets and the Sixers were talking about the James Harden trade, one of the things that, made the Sixers feel confident about the move was because of the relationship with Daryl Morey and James, obviously from the Houston days, that Daryl knew that when this summer came, that James was going to be malleable to an extent with his contract, that he was going to potentially leave some money on the table to make things easier for Daryl to do his job. And that's where we'll see if it works, but it's definitely a major positive for them. When you have that kind of synergy between GM and star player, where, you can just kind of almost bring him into your front office and help him understand what you're trying to do. And he has, confidence and faith in you. So it might allow them to go out, a lot of chatter about them bringing PJ Tucker back into the fold and continuing down this 2018 Rockets, reunion type approach. But listen, PJ, is still playing at a really high level. And so we'll see if that happens. But yeah, James is trying to do whatever he can contract wise to strengthen their depth.
So that's the maneuver. It would be PJ Tucker. Anything else that would be on the radar screen? Any big moves? Any huge moves that can add a third major big-time star there, do you think? Or they have that in Maxey pretty much?
Yeah, I mean, Maxey's got to get to the next level. That's something they can obviously be excited about because he had such a good year last year. Matisse Thybulle, Tobias Harris, possible trades. Those are things that are still out there. The Harris thing is such an interesting quandary because, he's a pretty good fit for what they do. He's a really good player, but it's always, obviously, everybody, you get hung up on the contract and it's pretty restrictive for, what they're able to do because of that deal, but they haven't found takers for him in the past. So, I mean, who knows if something happens there. They had made Thybulle available, just again, trying to free up space going into free agency. That didn't end up transpiring. So the only, third star wise, you would hear about a Bradley Beal, all indications are he's staying in Washington. So I just don't know who that guy is. Kyrie's camp had thrown Philly onto its list when he was going through his situation, but that's obviously kind of tamped down. So I'm not for now seeing the path to them adding another massive star. I think it's probably around the edges.
So no one's going to make a YOLO shot at Bradley Beal? They just assume he opted out to opt back in at the max, or what? That's
the sense. I mean, free agency is nothing if not unpredictable sometimes. So, but yeah, the wind is for sure going that direction. And it just feels very much like, Bradley's going to take the bag and you are going to hear a lot about his loyalty to Washington and this and that, but then around the league, it's going to be a matter of time before, okay, it might be a year down the road, year and a half, 2 years, if they're not turning it around, that Dan Bradley re-enters these conversations. But right now I'm not seeing it.